It's been a little while since we talked about the founding fathers, you know? No, that's hilarious, though, that we, for reference, we're thinking, like, it's not fair to come on here and to make fun of these people and to just make fun of people on secondary sources. This was a fucking MLA format. Could we turn in our sources cited being like, yeah, I watched a video of a guy talking about a video about Brendan Schaub? No, it wouldn't work that way.
Yeah, they would say...
So for benefit of the doubt, let's suffer through it, Let's join...
Oh my God, and boy, did we suffer.
Boy, did we suffer. Honestly, first you throw on, I'll throw on the five most recent minutes of the Golden Hour, followed by the 5 most recent minutes of The Fighter and the Kid, followed by the 5 most recent minutes of The Schaub Show, right? I figured 15 minutes of my life, I can commit to it, and what a torturous experience. They each one, though, I will give them credit. I kind of assumed that Brendan Schaub would kind of have the exact same podcast 3 times.
Yeah, so did I.
Very different tones, atmospheres, and moods on all 3 of them.
You know what? Good on you for thinking of a positive to start right out the gate.
Good on me. Dude, I don't want to come here to start swinging punches. No, that's not fair.
That's good journalism.
That's good journalism. I want to say there's some positive things. Okay, I don't think I could, if he wasn't in them, if it wasn't that face on all those podcasts, someone could tell me that there were 3 different podcasts, not all part of Thick Boy Studios. I would have believed them, I didn't necessarily think it screamed to have that thick boy look to it,
Yeah.
It could have been 3 different podcasts from 3 different, podcast companies. But now, when you see the man, the myth, the legend, Brendan Schaub.
He really might be
Brandon
the best
Shub. You get to see that, he looks, it's his thing. You can just tell it's all part of that Thick Boy network.
My favorite part about the Golden Hour is, so it opens up.
Was your favorite part about the Golden Hour how the entire conversation was just a back and forth of, I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. Do you know?
Dude,
I don't know. Do you know?
Dude, this is one of those cute things where you write something down. Look at my first note.
What'd you write? Oh, dude.
The first paragraph right there. What's that say?
I've never watched Golden Hour, and we decided to. And I love how it's. No, I guess you can. Can you? I don't know. I don't know. The other guy goes, no, I guess. I don't know. You can't. Can you? I don't know. And then the last guy goes, I know someone who's balls deep in this. This is just great stuff. It really is. The ability
we wrote the same fucking note.
The ability to have 5 guys spend 5 minutes talking vaguely about some idea of a proposed universal streaming service.
Can you though?
I don't know, but can you though?
I don't know. I guess you can't.
Could you do that though?
Probably not.
I don't know. I don't know if you could. Do you think you could do that?
They did at one time. They had a thing.
I don't know if you could do that. Do you think they could do that?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. I guess.
But I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know either.
Because it's also like, but because do they
I know someone who's balls deep in YouTube.
Do they pay for? They have comedy. Maybe they don't though. Do they have comedy package? Can you pay for Comedy Central on TV?
No,
you can't do that.
Another interesting point. 3 comedians. Do you think at some point someone would think to make it funny?
Someone would think. No, there's just been first 5 minutes going back and forth on whether or not you pay a subscription service for Comedy Central.
I don't know. Can you?
Could you even? They also can't decide if it's even possible. They came in. Even though there's very clear streaming models out there, there are things that have worked. To an extent, there are streaming services, but they keep saying, I don't know. Can you make a streaming service about comedy? I don't know, but can you? Could you? Could you?
I don't think you can.
I think you could.
I don't know if
Would it be good?
Maybe you could.
Maybe not with the brain trust of the fucking Golden Hour behind it, but if you got some more, some real comedians in there, you're Tony Hinchcliffe's and maybe then you get something classy, some quality stuff.
Yeah, that's the problem. Actually, they should actually make a 4th part of the network. They have Tony Hinchcliffe, Chris D'Elia, that other jerk off whose name I just can't be bothered to remember. And
Eric Griffin.
Yeah. And
I tried taking notes about him in this thing too for a second. I was like, I have a couple points to make, and I was like, because Brendan Schaub, it's just insane how it's
Bapa. Give him the respect.
Bapa, yeah. Bapa is fucking. It's quite the life he's living. I'm envious of. It's just crazy that he gets to go to restaurants and go to these cool spots and just like be seen by celebrities, and they come up to him and talk to him. And it's like I could believe him actually sitting down and having a nice, genuine conversation with Adam Sandler. 'Cause I feel like Adam Sandler would like talk to a fan for make 5-10 minutes. Yeah, I can spare 5 minutes. Let me have a conversation with this guy. But it's the fact that this lunatic has to phrase it where he's like, no, Adam Sandler. He actually asked the man, and he actually, listen, I was sitting and having a good time, me and my friends, we're pounding back bottles, we're having a nice time, everyone's looking over us how cool we look, right? We're all wearing beanies, we look sick, we look fresh as fuck.
You're always looking fresh.
We're always looking fresh. And, the manager, hostess guy of the restaurant, he walks over.
Good. That was good. I always said, that was good.
He walks over and he's like, Mr. Aaron Sanson says he's a huge fan of yours.
Plan.
And then he's like, oh, no, shit, is that the guy from Billy Gilmore? And he's like, yes, that's the guy from Billy Gilmore. And then he's like, yeah, bring him over. And then Adam Sandler comes up and says, hey, I just want to say I'm a huge fan of you. You're that funny guy who kicks ass and fights a lot, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just a huge fan of your stuff, man. You're an inspiration to me, dude. You really inspire me to keep trugging along and doing these movies all the time. I'm thinking, one day I can have my own thick boy studio.
Who do you think's got the bigger inflated ego, the machine, or
No,
or
we're not talking about him in this. No, we're leaving Bird out as one. All right, we tore him apart the other day. He needs some time. You know, like when isn't I don't know. I'm not a fucking loser, so I never played Pokemon. But I think those Pokemon games have it where when you lose your fight, instead of just like actually some real stakes, like, oh my god, they just fucking killed Pikachu. No, the thing's like tired and has to go rest in its ball for a couple hours and real heal.
Yeah, he has to go take a nap.
Oh, it's like it turns into performance issues for these fucking things because it's kind of this vicious cycle now. They keep thinking like I can perform, but then they get there and like actually I can't. I got my ass kicked last time. But no, again, it's Sandler's a fan of him. Will Smith's a fan of him. It's never him being, and also just admit that that's the case. No one's gonna be like, wow, Schaub's a loser. He saw a childhood idol of him and wanted to say hello, what a pussy. But for some reason in his corroded brain, he's thinking, he's like, no, they'll think I'm a little bitch if I do that. So I'm gonna say that Aaron Sampson came up to me and said hello. The guy from Happy Madison.
He's like, look, I'm King Bapa. I'm the thick boy. I don't go up to them. They come to me.
To me. All right. He does. I think he does think he's the Don. I think he thinks at the very least he's the made man. He's the Christopher of the comedy world from The Sopranos. He's that character arc.
Yeah,
he's just Christopher.
100%.
Where it's like, did you call him this morning? He's like, no, I didn't get in. Did you call him last night? No, I didn't get in late till last night, Tony. And then he's like, well, did you at least call him this morning? No, I had stomachache. My mother said I should barely even come in today. That's Brendan Schaub to a T. He's that guy. He's Christopher. And then you have Brian Callen, just a fucking bozo. He's the annoying little brother who you fucking put your hand out to put his head there, and he's just swinging punches at you. Being a little, he's Scrappy Dog. That's the best way to describe that little weirdo.
Yeah, I like too how like you're supposed to try to catch the audience in the opening of this, and that's not part of anyone's setup.
That's not even. They just think we should start recording in the middle of a conversation, talking about where to retire, and not acknowledge the camera. Are we recording? Are we recording? Oh,
we started.
Oh, this is. We're recording.
No, we can stop if you want.
No, that's fine.
That's fine. We can keep
when did you start
cool.
recording? Oh, like 5 minutes. Like, it's like all those on. No.
Oh shit, maybe I should have said
Trust me, that thing you said in the beginning that wasn't on there. Oh, maybe it should have been.
Dude, that was a real butt cheeks clenched moment there.
Oh my god, fucking Taylor, goddamn.
Dude,
I
hate
Taylor. I love Will Compton. I can't stand Taylor.
Will Compton's awesome. I don't even know the other guy's name. You just said it. I already forgot. That's how
Taylor Lewan. Yeah,
hate that guy.
I'm glad he got cut from the Titans. Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him.
All right, you know what? I'm glad too. Because I always thought it was, I get that it's the bro mentality at Barstool and everything else, but it's like, after like the 7th time of Will Compton coming to the fucking Titans, getting signed for a 10-day or whatever, getting, put back down to the practice squad, getting cut, getting released, going over here, being a journeyman, trying to just get by, scrap, wants to play for the love of the game, wants to keep playing, wants to be in Tennessee. I think it's fucked up that Taylor Lewan just keeps saying, haha, the little bitch got cut from the Titans. It's like, good, now you're the little bitch who got cut, all right? God damn, man. And he's probably thinking, he's like, dude, they're not going to cut me. A couple years ago, they had me do a promotional video walking through Tennessee having hot wings.
Yeah, I ate some chicken.
I'm a franchise left tackle. And then that must have gone into his head, he thought, and he forgot how to be a good franchise left tackle and proceeded to be not playing on the Titans anymore.
Yeah, well, good. It's good riddance.
Then you have Chris D'Elia, who's a fucking just creepy little weirdo. He's a creepy little weirdo in Whitney.
I'm 39.
I'm 39, by the way. He was a creepy little fucking weirdo in Whitney. He was a creepy little fucking weirdo in that Brent Morin show. He was kind of all right in that Logic music video.
That's kind of his thing, though, being the creepy fucking weirdo.
Yeah, honestly, being a little creepy fucking weirdo thing. And also, he's never done drugs or drank. First off, he has the eyes of a heroin addict.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, you know when you see someone who's gotten off heroin and they've been off for like 4 or 5 years and they have that glossy, like, they have that look where they look healthier, but you think like, God, there's something behind those eyes. Chris D'Elia looks like he's maybe at the very most gone like a 6-month binge of not doing heroin for 39 years. He looks like shit.
Yeah, he always looks. He's got that glazed look.
But he thinks he's hot as fuck. That's something that I'll give credit there, honestly. You can tell in his head, he's like, I look fucking good.
He's only 39.
He's only 39. He's only 39. And also, I think he thinks he has like long flowing Fabio hair.
Yeah.
When he actually just has kind of like unkempt, stoner, greasy hair.
I mean, tomato to tomato.
Tomato. I mean, you just look at it. It's got that flow, man. You got those creepy little eyes.
What does Bop always say? Beauty's brow. In the eye of the beholder. How's he say?
No, he says he's always like, they say beauty is in the hand. I think that's about where it goes. I think he lost. I think he trailed off of the whole beauty is in the eye of the beholder somewhere around inserting the word hand into it. And then again, then there's Eric Griffin, but it's like I don't know much
Dude,
about
I forgot there's a third guy on that
I
fucking
don't know much
show.
about Tubby other than that's a motherfucking 2 a.m. in the morning pancake speech. Besides that one line he had in the trailer for whatever that show was, Laughter It's Cathartic. Yeah, I thought it was called Laughter It's Cathartic. My bad. I'm dying up here. All right, listen. If you're not, if Glue says you're not ready for the main stage, you're not ready for the main stage. All right.
Oh yeah,
That is a motherfucking 2 a.m. in the morning pancake speech.
You really like that show.
I love that trailer for
was
that show.
Was that guy, the third guy on the Golden Hour, was he your favorite part of the show?
Maybe my least.
His line a lot.
Maybe he was my like least. Of the Golden Hour or of that trailer. No, my favorite part of the trailer was definitely Laughter It's Cathartic. It's the energy that moves through the current. No, it's the energy that moves through the crowd of what you say. You get something to say, you get yourself on stage and you say it.
Yeah, these guys.
Blinded by the light. It's like, you know what? For a second, the people making this trailer tricked me. They started playing Blinded by the Light. I was like, maybe this is gonna be kind of a cool thing. And then I was like, no, it's not. It's gonna be fucking. It's just gonna be the most.
Also, isn't the entire trailer just basically
Mexican's
the first
a dirty
episode?
word. Take me to go to the circus. The Mexican circus.
You sound just like that guy. Also, we had this conversation just now. The whole last 5 minutes
Fuck
we've done
you.
that. This is all verbatim. We all did this
Sorry, is there
verbatim.
Mrs. Jerkoff at home? Fuck
it's
you,
crazy.
Jerkoff. It's so good.
What's really
I gotta
fun-
play. Where's some pros? Oh, you're some pros. Listen, I got a place you can go up right now in front of a bunch of people. No funny business. And then Lance is like, sure thing. And he goes up. He's like, hi, my name's Mark, and I'm an AA. It's like, oh, that's hilarious. What a plot twist. Jake Lacey, you son of a bitch.
We should just record these things that you say, and we should
On
just put
repeat?
them in that button thing right there and click them because
Nice.
that was tight. That was a nice tight 10.
That was
you just did
tight.
right there.
I don't know how I did it. It kills.
Yeah, you don't know how you do it, Alex, but you kill every time.
And then it's like, which one was your favorite of the three? Golden Hour?
No, mine was fucking the Bapa Variety Hour.
Yeah, the Bapa. Honestly, calling it the Bapa Variety Hour is a hell of a lot better than calling it the Shob Show. Because the Shob Show sounds like the Slob Show.
It does sound like the Slob Show.
And you look like a fucking slob. And also,
How tired is he, bro?
he must be so goddamn tired from doing all these fucking shows, dude. I feel bad for the guy. It's fun to make fun of him.
I gotta.
You gotta be pretty fucked up when you're getting tattoos of a pair of fucking socks on your elbow.
Yeah, apparently having shitty tattoos, that's a requirement.
Yeah, it's that and, being a jerk off in a beanie. Okay, now listen, okay? I myself, I do look cool in a beanie, okay? And that's not me being delusional. That's me recognizing that there's certain hats that look good in, like, for instance, beanie, looks sick in it. Cowboy hat, never looked better. Baseball cap, looks all right. Maybe I just look great in hats. All right, maybe I just look really good in hats. But Shab does not. He should stop wearing fucking beanies and make his sausage head look more like a sausage head. With do you know how tight and bloated his face is? It's ridiculous.
He's not getting enough sleep. That's why he's so
He's not
tired.
getting enough sleep. You know they say like you always hear those jerk off financial advisors be like, when I was young like you, all right, before I had all my ducks in a row. I had 7 businesses. I was driving myself
That's
crazy.
before your ducks
okay?
were in a row.
I had 7 different businesses, and one day I was talking to my girl, now my beautiful wife, mother of my children, 4 beautiful children. Great woman, stood by me through thick and thin, love her to death. I had 7 businesses. I was talking to my wife, and she said, what if instead of, spending all your time on 7 businesses, what if you just really committed to one of those businesses? You're always running around, you're always doing these things. So I thought, what if I just put all my eggs in one basket?
Yeah, put your ducks in a row.
Put my ducks in a row, and instead of having 7 businesses that I'm trying my best to do, what if I just put all my time into one business? You know what? I'm now worth $37 billion. All right? You know those guys?
Uh-huh.
Maybe, just maybe if Shab, all right, maybe Shab isn't the problem. Maybe he isn't the laughing stock of the world and just the gum on the bottom of our shoes like I thought, okay? Maybe he's more than that. Maybe he's just stretched too thin making 17 podcasts every single day.
Yeah, it's his audience demanding way too much of the guy.
Audience demanding. Then again, though, I disagree. I think if anything, the audience is begging him to stop, and he's just delusional, and he's like, I can't. No, you know what? I'm gonna let the haters win. That's what it comes down to. He's gonna keep on trug walking. Bapa's gonna keep on bopping around. Gonna keep ducking and weaving, dodging and weaving. And keep doing shows. But I think maybe if he stopped doing the Golden Hour and stopped doing the Fire and the Kid and really just honed in on his real bread and butter, the fucking Shab Show, where it goes into this weird, uncanny valley of not quite being a conversation. Because he opens up talking about Callan, who's not in this one, and then it's like this borderline back and forth because he's like there's no one to talk to, but he doesn't.
But
quite,
he's insisting on talking to the producers so someone else
who
can
doesn't want me
respond.
on camera, and he also though isn't quite saying it. He's doing this really weird balancing act of where he's not saying anything, but he is filling up the airtime kind of. It's not like a Tim Dillon thing where he's just talking like full speed. It's like he's talking again as if someone else is responding to him. So there's this weird pause, and he's not saying anything. He's kind of just going this whole entire rant where he's like, we had dinner with Brian at 5, me, Brian, Eddie, Bravo, Joe Rogan, and Alex Jones. Savages. Crazy times. I should put it like this. Conspiracy, it would go, so Alex, and then Eddie, and then there's me, and then there's Rogan. And then Callan, he's on the other end. And then Callan, we're talking about conspiracies. And we're all at dinner. It's crazy time. We're at dinner. We're talking about conspiracies. It's me, it's Callan, it's Rogan, it's Bravo, it's Alex Jones. And so basically the way it is, it's like Jones is crazy conspiracy guy. And then next to him, Eddie's a little bit behind him, and then Rogan a little bit, and then me right next to Rogan. I'm right next to Rogan. And then Brian's on the other end. Brian's a loser. Fuck Brian. Brian's a nerd. Brian sucks.
He's at the table next to us.
He's at the kids' table. And then Brian is all like, Epstein didn't kill himself. And whoa, okay, that was the wrong table. Because again, it's a lot of conspiracy guys. It's Jones. It's Bravo. It's Rogan. It's
I'm
me.
The biggest conspiracy
I'm a
guy
huge.
out there.
I love conspiracies.
I'm a
big conspiracy guy.
guy.
So then I said nothing the whole entire time. I didn't say a word. I just sat there and I was like, Jesus Christ. Ooh, I didn't say a word. I just thought that I was like, oh my God, Brian, Callan, what are you doing, boy? Talking to conspiracy about these guys. It's talking to conspiracy about to Joe Rogan, to Alex Jones, to Eddie Bravo. It's like, Jesus Christ, that got ugly. Ugh. I didn't say a word. I just kept my mouth shut the whole time. I didn't say a word. I didn't say a word at all. I just kept my mouth shut. They had all this evidence. He was saying how like they didn't murder him, and then Joe had all this evidence.
Oh my
and Epstein had all this evidence.
Dude, it was really painful
say a word.
the first time. Jesus fucking Christ.
And it's like, if you're gonna say a fucking word, Brennan, stop telling the fucking story, okay?
Look, I love conspiracies just as much as the next.
Yeah, I love
guy,
conspiracy theories.
But like, I mean,
listen, I love listening to these conspiracy theories, okay? But it's just, we're at the diner, we're having diner together, trying to have some good fluids, and it's just like Quallen's talking about all these fucking
the cheese Baka was phenomenal, by the way.
Oh,
it was fucking delicious.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
It was
phenomenal food.
Abominable food.
The abominable snowman.
My favorite part though, I love the sounds.
Oh no, the favorite part was the Golden Hour theme song, the knockoff Full House Golden Hour theme song, where it's the Golden Hour.
Yeah, guys, you need a new song.
And it's like, that's interesting when it's like they're having they think that Chris D'Elia should be trivialized as the Uncle Joey of the group when he's a fucking menace to society and a monster.
I'm all for them doing the whole Full House knockoff, but you got to commit to it fully. You can't just smile at the camera.
Not just say, hey, Eric Griffin, walk out of this stall, you fat fuck. You smelly shit piece of shit. Does it smell bad in there? You're disgusting. You're bad for your health, all right? You're killing yourself, you slob.
Now smile.
You're
at Smiley's. Fuck, you can't show the Golden Gate Bridge, fucking drive down a highway, wear the sweaters, commit to the fucking bit.
Be playing in the park, have a picnic. Don't just be like, all right, guys, we want to film it, but we actually we completely refuse to leave the studio to do that. That'd be too much work.
And we only want to spend 30 seconds on this.
30 seconds and as little money as possible, okay? Honestly, we're getting one take. It's digital, Brendan. I don't want to keep paying for film. It's digital, Brendan. Guys, I keep looking at my phone. I keep seeing how my storage goes up with all these takes. Delete the other takes, guys. I'm not a photo man.
My storage is full.
Did you say photo men? Yeah, the guys who take photos. Photographers? I guess that's close enough.
Photographers.
I guess photographer kind of
photographers.
That's a good one, man.
Thanks. I don't know. I really can connect.
I thought we were bad talking over each other too.
Yeah,
that was something we really struggle with. Where like, sometimes we'll get lost in or more so I'll talk over you. But then again, occasionally you'll talk over me, and I'll just keep talking over you until you stop talking over me. So really, you're at fault as well.
There's also a nice balance, though, because I talk over, but then you don't stop talking. Right. So eventually, I just have to stop.
But those guys do it worse than me. I guess, maybe when you have 3 guys talking at the same time, it becomes even harder than just 2 guys talking at the same time. I also think it's fucking batshit bananas crazy that Brendan Schaub has one podcast where it's 1 host, a second podcast where it's 2 hosts, and a third podcast where it's 3 hosts. And I'm really curious to see what the lineup for host number 4, since they haven't overlapped yet. I can only imagine what the other 3... Unfortunately, it's not going to be Theo Von, because I think at this point, after a year of him being gone, I know when we left, Brendan kept saying, he was all like, yeah, Theon Bond is taking some personal time.
Personal time, that was good.
But he'll be back. And then now it's like, I don't know, Theo Von's having Hulk
Theon
Hogan on.
Bond.
Yeah. Barry Bonds is having multiple guys on his podcast, and he seems like his mental health not being the problem. He seems like almost like it was the giant sore on his ass.
Well, does Theo Von have tattoos?
No.
Because only people with tattoos have mental health
That's
issues.
true. Only people
We
with tattoos
did
are
learn that
mentally
recently,
unstable. That fucking lunatic on YouTube.
So-
That was a
so
weird take.
that's
The guy's
probably-
like, everyone knows who has tattoos. If you have tattoos, that obviously means you had a horrible upbringing. And
Only those who suffer from child abuse.
only
and
those
mental
people
health
have
issues. The only people that
they're
have
the only people
tattoos.
that have
Ask
tattoos.
anyone.
Everyone knows that. And then he's like, and then when I get pushback for this point because you're an idiot saying stupid shit.
You know who else is an idiot saying stupid shit?
Brendan Shaw.
Big Bapa.
Big Bapa. Yeah. I thought, honestly, like I said, that I can't tell which one's my favorite because, again, you get the Brian Callen one where it's just so boring. I thought the Golden Hour was bad, which it is, but I guess maybe because, maybe since the Golden Hour has only done 42 episodes and the Fire and the Kids done 9,000.
What happened to Brendan Callen?
That's not a person.
What happened to Brendan Ballin?
That's still not a person.
The
His
guy
name's
on
Brian.
the Fighter in the Shed.
His name's Brian.
What?
His name's Brian.
Brandon Callen, okay?
Brian Callen.
Brian Gallen, okay?
My name's not Jerry Callow. It's Jerry
That
Gallo.
guy used to be the top of his craft. He was on The Secret Life
How
of
I Met Your
American
Mother.
Teenager. He was on How I Met Your Mother.
He was in Secret Life of American Teenager. That was the other guy.
No, they're both in it.
They're both in it. The guy from Accepted and
Yeah,
Brian
his brother.
Callen.
They're both in it together.
Isn't that guy also in How I Met Your Mother?
Oh, yeah, he is actually.
Dude.
They're brothers. They work
They
together.
must be brothers. Dude, why doesn't Brian Callen do a podcast with his brother?
I don't know. They have way more chemistry than him and fucking
Bapa.
Brendan Shub.
Yeah. Brian. You mean Brian Schaub?
Yeah, Brandon
Brendan
Schaub.
Callen and Brian Schaub.
But anyway, what the fuck was I? Oh, now he has to be the guy that just never gets to talk and sits there with his bare feet and his flip flops, just hanging out as Brendan Scoob talks about whatever.
Dude,
the
and
fuck he wants
also
to
it's
talk
like
about.
he's much smaller than Brendan Sklob is, and he gets eviscerated for that shit all the time on the Reddit where people are saying like, you little bitch, you little fucking twink, you're such a little baby bitch boy.
Who, Braden Gallen?
Yeah, and exactly, and they have, but now in that new setup for that new Fire and the Kid when they had the fucking Bustin' with the Boys guys on, they have him in the corner, furthest away from the camera. It looks like even more of it looks like an elf on the
It
shelf.
looks like their son came to
He
work
looks like
with
the elf
them.
on the shelf. It's fucking delusional. He's so scrappy. That guy's just he's just scrappy dog. He's just scrappy dog. Is he not?
Yeah, he is.
He's just scrappy dog. He's the fucking. I'm not only gonna hit you. I'm gonna knock the wind out of you. He's that guy.
He's won every fight he's been in.
You know who he is to a T?
Uh-huh.
He's the fucking. You can talk about me all you want. Talk about my friends or my family. I'll fucking kill you.
Every group needs
You can
that
talk
guy.
about me. You can say whatever you want about me. Okay, you can call me an absentee father. Okay, you can say my dick doesn't work. Okay, you can say I'm short as fuck. Okay, you can say I'm balding, that my hair transplant didn't take, that I tried doing 10 years ago and thought no one noticed and they didn't and it didn't take. You can say that. Okay, you can say I'm 67 years old hanging out with a 40-year-old who thinks he's 20. Okay, you can say that too. You can say a lot of things. All right, you talk about my friends or my fucking family, and I'll fucking kill you, man. Okay, I will fucking kill you. Okay, you say I will fucking kill you. He's that goddamn cancer.
Those guys are the worst.
Brian Cancer. That's his
Brian
name.
Cancer.
Brian Cancer. We got Bapa and Brian Cancer.
Yeah, Brendan Scamby. Fucking, I do gotta give him credit, like you said though. It is interesting that all three podcast versions of him are slightly different. It's kind of like it's
because he has the Brian Callen one where he hates Brian Callen,
which is awesome.
Then he has the Schaub show where he talks about his best friend Brian Callen. It's like that second grade where it's like you pull the girl's hair you like.
That's yeah, exactly.
So whenever he's next to him, he's being all bashed like you dumb little bitch. I'm smarter than you. I've gotten way more fights than you. But when he's gone, I was like, oh my god, what a fucking piece of man. What a gosh, I love him. I love him to death. Me and Callen.
What's amazing though about the talent level he has is not only can he be three different iterations of himself
Right.
in all his podcasts, his stand-up is another version of himself.
That's
Which
true.
even seems to transcend
Honestly,
and enlighten
I've
all this
seen
once
everyone
more.
tear apart the Gringo Poppy things, but I was like, well, let me see someone tear. I'm not going to watch the special. Trust me, I'm not going to actually devote that much time. Okay, I can give 5 minutes of the podcast and 5 minutes of the next podcast and 5 minutes of the next podcast. I'm not going to watch a 25-minute YouTube special, and I'm certainly not going to watch the actual appropriate length, 45-hour minute long one needed for Showtime. Not doing it, but I'll watch someone talk about it, and then I'll make fun of you for it. And I just honestly thought, I don't like the guy very much, but...
Who?
Skloob.
Oh, okay.
Brayson Skloob.
Brayson Skloob.
Not a huge fan of him, but I'm not, and it wasn't even, I'm both offended and intrigued that he was willing to have that joke about the UFC doctor being Asian, and he'd be like, Mr. Schaub, you know, your body don't work. Your body don't work well now. You need treatment. You need that treatment. You need treatment. You need treatment. Oh no, very not good. You need treatment. You need treatment. And then it cuts to the guy saying, hi. I've been the doctor of the UFC now for 7 years. It's just very close. I get to get close relationships with these. Also, not to mention, he said it's really interesting being the health professional of the UFC, building a relationship with all these fighters, getting to know them, getting to know their families. But the way it's described was as if some guy fresh off the boat came over and said, I had a needle for you. Like, I don't know who the fuck is this guy. I don't know who this guy is. And he walks in there. He's like, I had a needle, very large needle. And then Schaub's like, that shit was large ass shit. Oh. It's literally the entire thing is that, you know, when Andy Samberg and Pops and Never Stop, Never Stopping does the whole Ace Ventura pet detective thing? That's Brendan Schaub's personality.
And he's like, this guy was Asian as shit.
Asian as shit. It's like,
dicey.
Dicey. Do you mean by Asian as shit that he in fact was Asian?
Yeah.
Because as far as the rest of the story you told, as far as this very broke with English, he spoke better English than you do. To the point where it's like, maybe you should be making... Also, maybe the guy who can't say the words very well, maybe he shouldn't be talking about people not being able to speak well. Maybe that should be the one thing where, you know, like, it'd be like kind of fucked up where you see like, you know... Everyone kind of has like one thing where they pull back punches a little bit when it gets like a little too close to home, right? Their own personal biases, they get offended, right? You know, it's the whole, listen, you can say whatever about me. Talk about my friends and my family, I'll fucking kill you, right? That shit. Maybe when you don't talk no well, don't make fun of him for not talking. Even though he spoke fine.
Yeah.
The guy spoke great. Also, the guy was in phenomenal shape. Nice head of hair. He was like a very, like, you know, well put together guy. And Brendan Schaub's like, yeah, he had the mustache and the big teeth and the triangle hat.
You know, Will Smith saw his You'd Be Surprised and actually be his trainer after that.
And he's like, yeah, you know, you'd be surprised, Brendan. I don't say this to many people, but I'm a fan of your work. And I'd just love it if you'd fuck my wife. That'd be really sick. If you could just fuck my wife for me, I would very much appreciate that.
Yeah, we got this thing. I like it.
And then Brendan's like, yeah, so Will Smith wanted me to fuck his wife. And I was like, fuck it, you know, if the guy from I Am Legend 3 asks you to fuck his wife, you gotta say, I'll fuck his fucking wife.
The guy from You Robot, if he asks you to do something, you do it.
That guy from Men in White Suits, if he asks you to fuck a wife, you gotta fuck a wife, you know?
The Fresh Prince of Tucson. That guy is the Fresh Prince
of Philadelphia. He never got past the opening line of the theme song and just now appropriates that. It says show he liked watching. So he's like, oh, I love the Fresh Prince of Philadelphia. He's always saying, in Philadelphia, spent most of my days. He never got past that part.
The Fresh Prince.
The Fresh Prince of Philadelphia. The Fresh Prince of King of Prussia. The Fresh Prince of King of Prussia. You think that's what the show's called?
What?
I think the show's called The Fresh Prince of the King of Prussia.
The Fresh Prince of King of Prussia.
The Spin Doctors? Is that what you're saying? I am surprised he doesn't get lost in his own conversations more often than he does. He kind of does trug through them pretty well, where he can't say the words no well, but he do get to point successfully in the end. You know? in end, he say what he want say, thought process come out loud. He do say what he want to say, what he want to say, when he want to say.
I don't know. I'm not really the most eloquent of speakers. Maybe I should
no.
if I want to.
And that's true. And a lot of time, one thing I haven't seen him do, a lot of the time, I'll fucking be like, what was I saying? I get lost. Sometimes I trip over my tongue. That guy trugs along the whole entire time. He's always trugging along.
You just don't got what you need to make it, bro.
You know, word may not sound good. Word do come out in the end. They figure out what the word meant. The rest of word sentence be found from words that they do hear. They figure blank.
What do you think's better, the way he just makes up every fact? And I know you're supposed to embellish for stories when you're doing stand-up, but there's embellishing, and then there's saying things differently on every... he says these stories on every podcast he's on with different facts.
Yeah.
And then when he tells it on his stand-up, that there's different facts.
He also tells facts, not about personal anecdotes. He tells facts about publicly recorded and the things that literally the reason people even know who he is that are in that Schaub special for the fucking Showtime show. What was it called? It was called the Showtime I think You'd Be Surprised. You'd Be Surprised.
Yeah. No, I think You'd Be Surprised.
I think You'd Be Surprised. I'm surprised. Honestly, I'm surprised he didn't have like. I'm surprised that wasn't like the opening of the thing was Joe Rogan's clip and everything saying You'd Be Surprised. But I think the worst part of his entire thing is I think that the stealing of the jokes is already pretty bad. Like just taking Nick Swartzen's fajita joke and making it not funny was already. I think that's the worst part too. It's like at the very least you'd expect them to take a joke and try and make it funny. But I guess that they're taking jokes not very funny to begin with.
Yeah. Do you think when comedians steal jokes that they just notice people are laughing? They don't actually notice that the joke's funny. You think they just notice that the room got louder? So I'm going to copy that. So what makes them steal a joke? Because they always do it worse.
He keeps doing comedy on his release special. You hear someone say "boo." So I don't think he even acknowledges that there's no. I don't think he knows. I don't think he knows that that's the point. I think he's just saying it's a performance piece. Take it as it is.
I love being in Texas, by the way.
I love being in Texas.
I love you, Dallas. And you know what I love about the Mexican culture? I love about you Mexicans. I love your Mexican food.
Did you hear that part though, where he's like, my wife said she was going to. Also, my wife, who's an immigrant, who's actually born in Los Angeles and doesn't have an accent and is very much American. He's very black and white on what Americans are versus foreigners. It sounds like if you're not truck walking kind of guy like him, you're just not an American kind of guy, you know?
Yeah, unless you were born in America, you're not really an American.
Yeah, if you're not from America, then you're not really an American citizen.
Yeah, you're just a citizen, if anything else.
Then his wife's like, I'm gonna make some Mexican cookies, and then he's like, what is that, a cookie with salsa? And then also, when he decides to tongue fuck the microphone for his funny voice, that's my point, okay? He not only stealing jokes bad, but I can at least like say, all right, he thought he was being mischievous, like he thought, ooh, I can get away with it. And he changed a few words, you know? Like he said, instead of being like, you know, he does, ooh, that's everyone's looking. He's like, everyone's staring at me. That's different enough. That's close enough. I'll change that. That's who's gonna realize that? No one's gonna realize. Even though I myself no one else gonna be able to. No one. This video has millions of views on it, but I'm the one who saw it, so no one's gonna notice that I'm stealing this joke.
Well, the difference is he's a comedian versus pedestrians.
True, it's true. I honestly always forget that. I always forget when I'm talking from my place of pedestrianship,
yeah, exactly.
In which I'm looking up at these
pedestrians don't understand
the
what
Mount
it means to be a
Rushmore of
comedian.
comedy, and I'm looking at them and I'm thinking like, you know what? One day, but until then, I'm just some asshole talking about stuff. You know, I don't know nothing about nothing. But the stealing jokes pisses me off. But you know what pisses me off more than stealing jokes? I think it's even more offensive.
The tongue fucking you were getting?
No, I'll get to that in a second. Okay. The stealing of mannerisms, I think, is worse. Like him just blatantly obnoxious. Taking away the fucking the Kevin Hart walk and the Dave Chappelle mic slap, just stealing the energy. You remember when Dane Cook went up to Steve Byrne and was like, "You're just taking my energy, man."
Yo, speaking of
which,
you're
stealing my energy, as in wearing a T-shirt, being a bro.
Big Bapa even steals from the great Steve Byrne with the at the end of his jokes.
Yeah, that's another one.
You didn't notice that?
Apparently I noticed it.
Okay.
But I feel like that one, honest. I feel like Brendan. I feel like
see the joke in there, Alex. You don't understand what crafted joke is. No one remembers Steve Byrne as a comedian. I said the great Steve Byrne. Oh, it was two insults for the price of one. It's called Double Entendre.
Did you have a show on TBS for 3 years?
No, I didn't.
Did Vince Vaughn ever produce anything you made?
No, what was that show?
Did you have that crazy fuck Owen Benjamin on a TV show you produced?
Owen Benjamin's on that show?
Remember that crazy guy just somewhere right now, probably only 45 minutes away from us in New York, just fucking
talking about how
shitting on how much he hates Joe Rogan. When again, it's the same guy who doesn't understand what video footage means. These fucking guys, I guess it's because they weren't born video cameras. Like they grew up, they weren't raised around video cameras. They only they had the idea of them. So they're like, yeah, I know cameras exist, but who really has a camera? So they keep doing these things. They go on these podcasts and they say the things where Owen Benjamin's just like, sucking off Joe Rogan. Then he's gonna go onto his New York City loft of his 750 square foot apartment and be like, that guy's not a leader. He's short. He's not a leader. He's so short.
Bald.
He's bald. Who wants to follow a short, bald leader around?
He's got shitty tattoos. That guy sucks. Must have mental health issues.
Yeah, that guy must have mental health issues. He's also short. He's short and bald. Who wants to follow a bald, short guy? I want to follow a hot guy who'll just fuck me just really give it to me, that TV show on TBS, that show about, hey, it's not Cheers.
Yeah,
that one.
Yeah, what was that show called?
It was called
Irish. It was some Irish last name.
It's called like Samson and Son.
It was something in Son for sure. Whatever.
It's called Flanagan.
Yeah,
Flanagan's.
Yeah.
It's called Cocktail and Dreams.
Yep, that's what it was. With
that
Stephen
show
Bynes.
with Stephen Byrne and Craig Owens, or Owen Craig. What was his name? Craig Owen. Benjamin Owen.
Yeah.
Benjamin Owens.
Owens.
Yeah. Produced by Vincent Vaughn.
Yeah.
Vincent T. Vaughn. I was only trying to get into his more serious stuff. He's either Vincent, no longer Vince. Vince is too much of old school Vince. I want new school Vince Vaughn.
His name's Vince T. Vaughn.
Vince T. Vaughn. That's pretty good. Vince and that's his name. Vince N. T. Vaughn.
N. T.
Yeah, so two middle initials.
Vince
like George R. Martin.
Vince
N. T. Vaughn.
That's pretty sick.
I was like, so your name's Vincent?
Technically, I guess, but
it's the same thing. It's the Will I am.
Maybe Ben and Scoob should start doing that with his name.
Brendan Scoob. Yeah. Honestly, I kind of more respect him if he went by let's do a little investigating journalism here. What do you think Brendan's middle name is? I'm gonna guess it's based on his sons being named Boston and Tiger. I'm thinking his middle name must be something real masculine,
Scott.
I was thinking Bazooka, like Brendan Bazooka Schaub.
His name's definitely Bazooka.
Let's see. I actually just typed
It's
in
Brendan Henry Bazooka Schaub the fourth.
Brendan Schaub's. Never would have guessed Peter.
Wow. That's almost a normal name. It's a little too normal for the great Brendan Scoob.
You go by BP Schaub.
Yeah, BP Schaub. That's actually pretty
I
sick.
invest with that guy. Maybe he wouldn't have a fucking floundering business if we started saying like if Jeff Dean Morgan ever stops getting work as an actor, goes by JD Morgan.
Mm-hmm. He's a banker.
Guy's a banker.
Yeah.
You go BP Schaub. BP Schaub. I'd toss him a few bands.
Yeah, exactly.
But this guy's got a dream. He's only 22 years old, but somebody's dressed and walking around. That probably fucks tons of chicks.
You can also by going with those initials, it gives him the option to do that BMD. What's that guy's name? The guy's in the suit.
Patrick Bet David.
Yeah, he has that route of doing that style.
PBT.
So you can have a fourth podcast.
That's true.
And do that exact.
And he can also, for some reason, be standing in front of lock boxes for his backdrop. That'd be really cool. Not weird.
I think we're helping Big Bapa out here.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to hear. He doesn't want to hear this stuff. He thinks he can do. He's very much of a trailblazer himself. He doesn't want to hear stuff from. He doesn't want to hear the guys behind him. He's more. He wants to hear the guys in front of him what they have to say to help him lead him to the next step. He's already surpassed us.
And I'm not a comedian, so
that's true. I'm just a pedestrian. I'm a pedestrian.
So I guess I really shouldn't be talking about the things I know nothing
about. It is
about.
peculiar to me though. He can't have his own original mannerisms when that should have been the easiest. It doesn't involve crafting a joke. It just involves understanding the way you move yourself in your day-to-day life and figure out some things you do. Maybe even have a nervous ticket. Maybe a real one. Maybe when you go on the stage and it's like, I kind of feel myself like sometimes I kind of want to just like run my palm on my hand, on my thigh. Like my palms are a little sweaty. Maybe I want to have that be the message. That's my thing. That'd be a thing. After every couple good jokes, after every a really good joke, he like does that's great. He rubs his palm like that's the palm thing.
Yeah, that's great. Hey, I still got the sweaty hands.
Dude, it's better than the monikers he has currently. That's the fucking brain dead moron walking around on two fucking left feet. That's way better.
Sweaty hands is definitely
there's
better.
cauliflower ear coming over here. Okay, no, I think sweaty hands would get him a hell of a lot of heat off his back.
It's Braden Sweaty Hand Schmob coming to the stage.
No, it's Bazooka Schaub.
I forgot.
That's gonna be that's gonna be his next podcast. When is his son's gonna tog mower? They're gonna have it where it's gonna be the fucking the Schaub variety hour with Bazooka Tiger in Boston, and his Mexican wife can come in and serve them Mexican cookies.
Like pick with the guy.
Oh my god, that's the best part too. Not only is he tongue fucking the microphone and he's talking in his what he thinks to be a Latino accent. Maybe work on the voices. That's gonna be large private comedy. Maybe actually spend more than 5 seconds. Maybe. And also, here's an idea. Instead of saying, "Oh shit, I need to say some Spanish words for my," because Dallas is in Mexico. I need to say a lot of Spanish words. Carne asada. Jailos rancheros. Pico de gallo.
And what was the last one? Salsa, but he said it like
salsa. And it's like, you tell me the research that went into this one for crafting your joke, and I've heard you talk about it ad nauseum about how much you work on your craft and you put on these hours, and that clip where he was talking about how at the end of the week he was with those other guys and they all review their sets and talk about comedy and shoot around. I've heard thousands of stories about back when he was the fucking, you know that scene in Zack Snyder's The Justice League where the Amazonians are like breaking the fucking posts down, they're going to collapse their building and kill everyone, and they're all just fucking... He describes the Comedy Store being that way a lot, where it was him and Rogan and...
Trying to break it down?
No, being like, those were the Amazons protecting their... They didn't have to...
Gotcha.
There was that. They're dressed like that. They have... The music's playing. They're all action
Isn't
superstars.
Isn't he way too young to been hanging out at the Comedy Store with Joe Rogan? When Joe Rogan was getting started at the Comedy Store?
The Comedy Store... Wait, you're thinking the Comedy Store like is in like 1978?
When Joe Rogan was like real big at the... Well, yeah.
No, the Comedy Store actually didn't open until like 2015.
That's right. I forgot Brendan opened it.
Yeah, Brendan actually opened the Comedy Store. Mitzi Shore like had the lot for a while. And like I think she might have had like, I think they had like I think people might have gone in there and like done some stuff sometimes. Like it might have been a little spot, but like it wasn't a thing until Schaub went there.
She was gonna call it the Comedy Supermarket. He said call it the Comedy Store.
It's cleaner. That was his idea.
Yeah.
And she's like, you know what, Brendan, that's better. And then that's kind of how he got so big. Is Mitzi was like, this guy's good. He gets some good ideas. Like, what if I call it the Comedy Store instead of the Comedy Supermarket?
Because that's really stupid calling it the Comedy Supermarket. That's a cluster.
I think he needs to. Like I said, work on this stuff a little bit more instead of just, maybe at the very least, look up some actual Spanish words. You could say like, buenos noches, hasta luego, something like that. But instead, his research went to be like, all right, what are some Spanish foods I like? He's like, I know I like chimichanga, taquitos, nachos.
Love nachos. Love nachos.
Margaritas.
Burritos. There's a lot of.
I don't like flaming hot Cheetos.
Yeah, I never even heard that before. Is that actually a thing?
Maybe, dude.
Apparently,
Maybe, dude. I don't know.
I wouldn't know. I'm not Brendan Schaub.
Do you know? I don't know. Do you know?
I
have no idea. I wouldn't know. I mean, I guess you do that maybe.
I don't know.
Do you know? I don't know.
Could you though?
Could you though? I don't know.
I think they have, haven't they?
Maybe he should find his own like actual mannerisms and little things to say, like, find his own K. Or the sorry. Sorry. Something I've been said.
Or the you're a pig! You're a fucking pig!
Was that Sam Kinison?
Yeah, it was
that was
really
the
bad,
worst Sam Kinison I've ever heard, and conversation's over. That was the end of it.